So, tell me, are you job search ready? I would venture to say that if you don't know how to identify the core duty statements in the job vacancy announcement for the position, your position of interest, that you're not as ready as you should be. So, in the last video, we started talking about the vacancy announcement and the importance of analyzing it. And so we're going to continue the job search readiness series with giving you a little bit more detail about those core duty statements and why they are so important for you to accurately identify them and the role that doing so can play in your job search success. So, excuse me, I feel like I'm always rubbing my nose because of my allergies. But let's talk about these core duty statements. And you probably remember from the last video that I recommended that you identify the top 3 to 4 core duty statements. And the way that you identify those core duty statements is that really, if the people who wrote the job announcements and job descriptions are properly trained in job analysis and job description development, they would list the duty statements in their reverse order of importance or impact, from the most impactful core duty statement being number 1 on down to the least. And the thing about the core duty statements is that they have a great deal of impact on the job, on the position. And that is because they are the duty statements that either the person hired into the position is going to perform most often, or they are the duty statements that, if they were not a part of the job description of this job, the job may not be titled what it is, or may not have the impact on the career field or functional area of expertise that it currently does, or it could become a different job altogether. So, what I want you to do is, if you know anything about the typical day of such a position like the one that you are aspiring to land, I want you to look at that list of duty statements in the vacancy announcement and determine which of these are the most impactful, which of these are responsible for this job being titled what it is, also being considered in this particular career field that it is assigned to, and 2, that could make a difference in the success or career advancement and success of someone who sits in this position and does the job. So look at those duty statements. You pick out the 4 most impactful core duty statements. Pick out those 4 core duty statements, and that is what you are going, or this group of duty statements is what you are going to build your application, your resume, your application packet, or your candidate value proposition, which includes your cover letter, your resume, and the interview questions that you will practice answering in preparation for your interview invite. So you want to make sure that any experience that you have related to this job that you're interested in, that you look at your resume and you make sure that for every position that you have held, for instance, like I know human resources. I am Associate Director of Human Resources in my current role. So, a core part of human resources, or for me, over the past 25 or more years, has been employee relations, resolving conflict. So if I see in that duty statement or in the list of duty statements for the job that I'm interested in applying for, that conflict resolution is one of the core duty statements. And also, let me back up and share with you that some organizations, which I love it when I see this, some of them list the duty statements and put the percentage of time that the person in the position will likely spend on performing that particular duty, or each duty that is listed. And so then it makes it so much easier for you to identify the core duty statements, because the ones that have the highest percentage rating, taking up, requiring most of more of your at work time, then those are going to be your top 3 or 4 duty statements, core duty statements. So I would make sure that every human resources job that I've held would list my conflict resolution experience at the top of each of each list of bullet points for each job. So that lets the reader of my resume readily know that I have the experience that they are looking for, at least that aspect of it. So you want to make it easy for the reader to see your directly related job experience, work experience, or professional experience. The other is in your education section of your resume. If you've taken, let's say, a workplace conflict resolution webinar or some type of training in that area, you make sure that that is listed and that the title of that course is easy to read and understand, so that they see that this is another piece of unique experience that this particular person has. And each time it's increasing the possibility that you'll be invited for an interview, whether it be a virtual interview or a follow-up, let's say, interview, or an in-person interview. Then each thing that you can check off from that job description and relate to it honestly in your resume and cover letter, the more likely you are to be successful in landing that job. The other thing is, when it comes to your cover letter, make sure that when you write your cover letter, when you get to the second paragraph of your cover letter where you relate some of your experience, you choose a couple. I recommend like 2 workplace scenarios where you had to use that skill. Highlight that, make at least one of the highlighted work areas to in your cover letter that you describe the why am I so tongue-tied tonight? That you, probably because I'm tired, had a long work day and now it's late and I'm tired. But I hope I'm making sense for you. Make sure that when you describe your directly related work experience, make sure that at least one of those scenarios is related to conflict resolution. And that again will continue to paint the write the story, tell your career story for the reader, so that they don't have to search hard or really dig to determine if you are a person who has the experience needed. They can just imagine it by the career story that of your career success that you've painted for your resume reader. So I know that that can be a little, I guess, a little intimidating for some, but I hope that you would take the time to go about analyzing your the job announcement for your target job. Also making sure that those top 3 or 4 core skills, duty statements for that job are represented in a manner on your resume and in your cover letter that the reader does not have to try and guess if you have the relevant experience or not. You would not believe just doing that little thing. See, some people put so much, they stress themselves out because they say, I can't tailor my resume to every job that I apply to. That is tailoring your resume. Just making sure that those core duty statements for your target position are represented very prominently in your resume for each one of the positions that you've already worked and gained the experience in that particular functional area of expertise or talent area that they're going to need you to be able to need you to have in order to be able to succeed in the position. So, y'all, I'm sleepy, ready to go to bed and get ready for the next work day. So I hope that you've received, that you've gotten value from this content. If you have, please smash the like button. Let the algorithm know that this is great content and others need to see it. Also know that I'm still on this mission to help you live your very best career life. I would ask you to share this content with your network, with other people who you know are also on their mission to living their best career life. And when you're comfortable, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you be a member of the Workplace Warrior fold, and consider also joining me not only for other videos, but joining me on Friday mornings on my YouTube channel, HR by Namtique 167, for my Friday morning lives where we dissect an HR related article or topic that is trending or that is just of interest for you, me, and others who want to live their very best career life. If you'd like to work with me more closely, I'll put that information in the description below. And great news, I have an upcoming cohort of my Career Search RX coaching program. That cohort begins on March 7th, 2025, and it will make such a big difference in your job search journey and make you feel so much more comfortable with the job search process and prepared for it as well. So I would love for you to join me. The enrollment information and more information, including enrollment information, will be in the description below as well. Until next time, whether it be a video or you joining me for my Friday morning live on Friday morning at 7 a.m., I wish you continued career success, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.